start asking by, what is the real role of technology across the industries or in the entire plane? What is the role or need of technology? Anybody would want to answer that? The real role? Okay, ma'am would like to say something. Can we get a mic over there, please?
Okay, and make it effective.
Fabulous. Ma'am, can I have your views also? Fabulous. Absolutely. That is a point I'll come back to during the presentation, transfer of knowledge to remotest areas so that demographics or geographies don't remain a challenge or a barrier. Absolutely. Fabulous point, ma'am. Anybody else? Sir? Fabulous. So what sir was saying, just to...
And it is instrumental, technology is instrumental to reaching to the masses, large number of people.
Spot on, sir.
Technology also helps the students to learn whenever they want and wherever they want, and they need not be in the classroom all the time. It can help the learner learn according to his or her requirements or needs.
Absolutely. So that's a beautiful point. That covers adaptive learning, that covers individualized learning, that covers remote learning, and out of class and in-class learning. Fabulous point, ma'am. Yeah, please. Guys, please help out with 2 mics if possible. We have quite a few pointers.
My first point was same as this thing, anywhere, anytime, any place. In addition to this, there is a selected studies that children do. So they can select what they want to study and just do away with what they don't want to do.
Customized learning path.
Or we can say learner-centered. Technology helps learner to be learner-centered than teacher-centered so many times.
Absolutely.
Well, technology plays a very vital role in today's educational scenario. We all have become digital natives, you know. And if I could put it rightly, had it not been for technology, I think most of us would not have been here today, because most of us are here on a working day, yet we are in touch with our school.
Absolutely.
In my school right now, the practicals is going on, and I am continuously in touch with the practical that is going on. So it's all because of technology that we are moving ahead, and we want our children to spear ahead with technology. Later, I'll talk about the benefits of technology.
Very well put, sir. Very well put. Thank you. This side, please. Some speakers from this side.
May I? I'm Vandana Bhargav. Good afternoon, one and all. I believe technology, since it aids the audiovisual, it makes the learners more receptive. We, encourage them to involve all their senses, and thus the retention is better with technology. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's a proven fact that ma'am just stated, that if there are multiple senses which are in use at the same time, the retention increases. That's a fact.
Yes. Sorry for not having introduced myself. I'm Sanjeevan Bose from Savan Public School, Delhi.
If I could add just one more point here. Apart from all the materialistic effects which you are talking about, it does touch upon the human values of sharing. So it's technology in education actually imparts education in technology. Thank you.
Absolutely. In any case, we are all social animals. It's our communication and interaction with each other what defines us. So,
well, good afternoon. If you want to take your school in greater height, you need technology, technology and technology. That's enough.
Good afternoon. This is H.R. Sharma, Principal CRPM School, Rohini. Technology enhances, first of all, efficiency, productivity, and it also enhances accessibility.
Fabulous. Yes, sir.
I come from Guwahati. I am the founder and principal of Miles Bronson Residential School.
Okay.
I see 3 important changes with the coming of new technology. One is the traditional uniform learning. There is shift to customized learning. There is individual learning. Next is that in the traditional method, it was the teacher was the expert. Here, children can learn from various sources. And thirdly, in the traditional method, knowledge was gained only through acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
And through the use of technology, we see that there is experiential learning by doing. Thank
Absolutely. Very important point, experiential learning and application-based learning.
Yeah, myself is Sumit Mago. I am from NIIT. One point which I would like to state here in front of all these esteemed principal is, I think in India today we have a huge challenge of getting great quality of teachers. I hope you will agree with this point. So technology, what it does is basically it helps us to make use of great individual teachers to impart learning to the remotest area. All of us are aware of virtual learning, right? So I may have one great teacher who may address the need of thousands of students sitting across geographies. So I think that's one point which I would like to state. Thanks.
So I think that's a very important point. Just an extension to that is that tomorrow the best faculties, best teachers, best content can be made available to students all across the country. So tomorrow no student can stand up and say, I did not get into an IIT or did not become a doctor just because I was born and brought up in a family who could not afford the best of education or the best schooling for me. I was not able to do what my counterparts in some of the urban areas are able to do, or some of the, let's put it this way, more economically privileged students or families are able to do. And I think that is the fundamental and the most important role of technology in digital world, so that it transcends all barriers and is able to provide one and all the same opportunities. So,
I just have a point. I'm Adilakshmi from Oak Ridge International School in Hyderabad. I think a big development is that the world has become flat, and we now have flat classrooms. So with technology, our children are able to work, study, interact with children all across the world, and their learning is having deeper meaning and better exposure.
fabulous.
I have a point here. I just wanted to say that we live in the 21st century where technology is not just an option, it's a necessity now. I think the best, easiest way to connect to a generation next, because I think that's the best way they're naturally inclined towards that. So I think that's the easiest way that we can adopt.
And that's a great point, you know, to be able to relate to them and connect to them at their wavelength so that they are also interested and actively participate in learning rather than it being a push. We have to provide it into a form factor that is digital in a manner that is interest to them. Why? Just one more line on this is, today a student's entire world is into digital. He goes back home from the school, he watches Cartoon Network, he has his Facebook accounts, he plays video games. On your mobiles, he'll be able to do a lot more things than you would ever know that you can do. And when he's doing that, look at his concentration level, look at his attention level. Let him watch a cartoon and keep calling him for lunch or dinner, he'll never even blink once. But if in some form or the other, we can provide education in the same attractive and encapsulating manner, then that is what the real learning will be. Ma'am?
That has become their world, in fact. So if you can connect with that world with them, it's very easy for them to understand. Second thing, it is a tool of expression, and plus it will empower the students and the teachers both at the same time.
Absolutely.
And when you connect them, when they are learning, doing something, they are all on one platform. So that is so important these days for the teachers, for the students, to be at par with all of them, to be with them, not, away from them. So that is what we would like to say technology, the role of technology.
Couldn't agree more. Just one point I'd like to elaborate over there. Ma'am used the word empowering the teachers. I think that is very important. No matter how much technology we have, teachers are and always remain the centerpiece of everything. Their role will be slightly altered and changed as they go along. From mere providing knowledge, they'll be facilitators of education. And that is the most important and beautiful point. Empowering them with tools which takes workload off them, at the same time giving them enough time and opportunities so that they can really facilitate learning in an engaging, collaborative manner. That's the beauty of technology, and that is what technology should really be doing.
Very good afternoon once again. I would just like to throw light on something that we should look at the initiation point, that what we are talking about technology not as a singular term, because it's very important when we are talking about technology, that what is the technology being used and what is the level of use. Say if the kids have to do, if we talk about remote areas, we talk about the rural areas, there we are talking about PowerPoint presentations only. That means because then it is, only limited to the use of computers, right? But when we talk about collaboration, when we talk about interactive learning, then obviously networking comes. So we need to see what it might be. Maybe it is a tech school or it is a no-tech school. What is very important is that how ICT or technology is looking into enhancement of learning. See, because this is very important, whether it is harnessing, it is relevant, it is responsive to the learner's need. And that's what I feel, that we may go anywhere, but we need to see the basic element. And as you are saying, it cannot substitute the teacher.
Never.
Teacher is a facilitator, and the teacher has to make the child very clear about that what is the right use of technology. As we were talking about the right touch and the wrong touch. So we need to tell them what is the right use of technology and the wrong use of technology.
Absolutely.
So this is, technology is such a tool which when, misused can be disastrous also. So that way, everything has to be taken into God.
Absolutely. One more point that ma'am just touched upon was that one fit solution is not acceptable, and it will not be the solution for PAN of India. See, India as a country is a highly demographically divided country. Economically, the school's level from one part to the other part will be totally different. So providing a high-cost solution will not serve the purpose. But whereas at the same time, some schools would want certain features which might have certain costs. So there needs to be different solutions from a cost, technology that is online, offline, personalized, takeaway, 24/7 solutions. So there needs to be a plethora of products catering to the needs and the demand and the requirement of various students, teachers, and schools across the nation. I think there's one more gentleman who wants to point out something there, but sir, first.
Good afternoon. According to me, technology is what bridging the gap between digital immigrants and natives. It makes us to cope up with the requirements of the natives also.
Absolutely.
And for a child, whosoever is a student in the class, it adds wings to his imagination and creativity. And as well as teacher is handled to meet the requirement of whatever different age groups, or we can talk it about, or different learning styles we can talk, even to make students involved in the task. So we started a task with our student, that is, we made a society in our school, what we call Prayas, for the social upliftment of the society.
Sure.
So how to make students ready for that? Firstly, we went for a slide. Then we sent some students to some villages or nearby areas to pick some photographs. Again, with technology, it was possible. So they prepared slide, then it was shown to senior most class, and ultimately they set up a society. Now that society is moving to various areas of that particular town, doing nukkad nataks, carrying those small pocket projectors with them, and making people aware of what is role of students also towards the upliftment of society. Even they are conducting blood camps, each and everything. That is possible with
that's a very noble thought and noble activity you're doing. So which school and
it's a
region?
Heritage Public School, Bhavanigarh, Nepal.
So whoever is now putting their viewpoint, please mention the school and the region you're coming from, because that will kind of tell us that the mindset and the thoughts that we share are not just limited to one geography. For example, the beautiful comment we received from the eastern part of the country, all that says that the thoughts of all the leaders of tomorrow, which are you guys, are aligned. And just before I get on to the next speaker's comment, that was a beautiful point that sir said about native users. See, today's generation are native users to technology. They have grown up in an environment where technology in some or the other form has always been there. They are not averse to technology. Their adaptation level to technology is much faster than us and the middle generation also. For us, technology is still something that maybe during our midlife for some of us was when it was really introduced. So we find it slightly tough, but at the same time, what we need to understand is the end user, the children, find it very, very easy, interesting, and encapsulating at the same time. That's a beautiful point, sir. Beautiful point. Ma'am?
I am Pratibha Kohli, Principal Maharaja Agrasen Model School, CD Block, Pitampura.
Fabulous.
Teachers are facilitators now, undoubtedly, because if you throw open a topic in class, I think there are times when children really know much more than what we could gather from our textbooks when we were learning.
Just hold on there. I think that deserves a round of applause. She has accepted that sometimes students might know more than teachers, something that deserves a round of applause according to me.
Thank you. And I have read quotes of Toffler, and he said that the problem is not education now. Most of us, most of the people in metropolitans are educated. For teachers, it is very important to unlearn and relearn, because when we were students, we had only books with us. Now, when we are teachers or when we are principals, there is more in the environment that we have learned when we were in school. So it is very important for teachers and principals to be in the process of unlearning what we had learned in school and to relearn, because the student these days definitely knows more of technology than we do. So we need to keep ourselves in pace with the growing technology more than what the student needs to keep in pace with, because now a 2-year-old can easily use the iPad, whereas a person who is about 50 years old and as a principal now may or may not be so comfortable with iPad. So I think it's we who have to learn more, and we who have to gather things more that are new in the surroundings than the children. So we have to be learners more, I think. That is what I feel.
Fabulous point. I think learning is a never-ending...
Yeah, I must tell you that I joined a course in e-learning about 3 years before. That was with IGNOU, and that really opened my vistas to learning. Because before that, I was thinking that learning was only maybe searching on the Google or surfing the net. But when I myself became an e-learner, then I realized that the potentials are limitless, and probably a few years from now, e-learning is going to be the way, and maybe after that, M-learning, M stands for mobile here, and mobile learning is going to be the way also.
Sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Fabulous point. So looking at the time, I think the gentlemen over here are really pushing me to begin with my presentation. But I think some of the fabulous thoughts have come about from all the great leaders, as I would call it. Why I call all of you great leaders? For the simple reason, each one of you have the capacity to touch more lives in a never-ending chain reaction manner than anybody in any other industry would ever have the opportunity to do, which is a fabulous, fabulous opportunity. It's a very powerful position, but at the same time, a very, very responsible position. You are going to be the people, through your policies, through your initiatives, the whole of next generation and generations to come will be touched, and their whole thought process will be based upon the guidelines that you will be providing. So slightly coming back, what is the real role of technology away from education also? I will crux it down from the discussions that we have into 3 simple points: making our life easier, making us more efficient towards whatever we do, and number 3, taking workload off us so that we save time and energy in doing activities which are our core areas. For example, look at any other parallel industry: transportation, communication as an example that was just given over here, or healthcare. Technology has just taken over the whole lifestyle, the environment, the way we do work over there. But in education, that has quite not happened yet. In education still, there have been novel and initial onsets of use of technology in schools or in generic, but the real technology use and technology cover, just like it has done in some of the industries, has yet not happened. Although that said, I believe the time for education technology, or digital learning as I would like to call it, some of the organizers here would be happy to use that term, but in general, role of technology or digital learning has come of its age. Why I say that is, because now a lot of factors that are required in any revolution to really aspire are there at the same time. One, the infrastructure or the hardware costs are coming down. It was always a game of cost, affordability, as I would like to put it this way. Number two, there are a lot of initiatives by a lot of governments, state governments and central governments, to make sure that technology in education takes its rightful place. For example, some of the state government tenders to distribute tablets, laptops, some of the central government initiatives, for whatever reason that we may feel have, or the underlying objective was to always make sure that technology is encapsulated into learning and it takes the advantage of the same. Plus, a lot of boards like CBSE, ICSE, state boards are doing the same activity. They are mandating at times, sometimes they are giving preference, sometimes they are giving guidelines that please start using technology in this or this manner in your own learning environment and framework so that it can aid and betterment of the learners. Now that, along with the infrastructure and the push by the government, will aspire to revolution, and I think revolution is just around the corner, just a couple of years. A revolution is when whole technology will take over the digital learning just like it has taken over in some of the other industries like communication and transportation, to give an example. Now, how will this happen, this revolution? This revolution will happen through holistic and comprehensive collaborating learning environment. It will also happen through customized learning and adaptive learning path. That is, if through technology we can provide pretty much in theory, in theoretical form, one teacher for every student, his customized learning path, adaptive learning, remote learning as some points that came out. Those were really beautiful points that I was just in awe to hear, that we all are aligned at the same thought level. Although there are various generations and various demographic people that have come over here, the thoughts are aligned. That is a beautiful thing to hear. I believe how this revolution in technology and in digital education will happen through would be a comprehensive learning management system for schools, which take care of their entire learning process in class and out of class. That is how it will really take place. One more example I'll just say before I move on with the presentation, looking at the time, is I think Poonam ma'am highlighted flip the classroom kind of an environment where students can learn the prerequisites or the basics of a chapter before coming to the class, and then develop on conceptual understanding, experiential learning, application-based learning in the class, and after going back they can revise the same things for a comprehensive, complete learning pack. I think some of these concepts that we have talked about are possible today with today's technology, and they will be available to us, and exponential growth or use of technology is just around the corner. So I was supposed to start from here, but I think the whole discussion was really enriching and got me on for more time. So this is going to be the flow for next 5 to 8 minutes. So before I begin, I'll just like to talk about iProf, the company on whose behalf I am here. iProf is India's leading digital education company. We are leaders, market leaders in tablet-based education learning. We are a content aggregator of sorts. That is, we provide curriculum-mapped content to the schools. In addition to that, we provide digital content which is mapped to the content of the physical books that the school is using, on the contrary of just providing digital component content as a standalone unit and providing books as a standalone unit. There needs to be an intermingled, real holistic solution that looks after the books, what the students are going to be learning all the time, and the digital assets that are available to them. That's a very interesting point and a vision that we have with us. What iProf does is it provides learning in various modes, from tablets to mobiles to computers to various big ICT solutions in both online and offline environment, because the need of the hour for different schools and different people is different across the country. Coming to School Era. School Era is a school division for iProf, where we focus on school solutions and solutions for children. What is School Era? School Era is a solution which is a comprehensive learning management system that we have developed after almost 3 to 5 years of intense research on this platform. Before it was at a level that we believe that it will bring around a revolution, we did not launch it. We launched it only after being 100% complete, tested, proven, and researched in the market. Some of the salient features of the School Era solution, as you look at it, according to me, is 1, during its in-class use, it saves the time of the educators by about 25%. That's a fabulous thing. Now, this is something that the various test runs and research reports have suggested, and the schools where we have deployed have come back and told us that using this solution saves time of the educators by 25%. Number two, it is a 24/7 learning which students, teachers, and administrators like yourself or principals, directors, if I may use the term, can also look at throughout the time, at home, in school, and anywhere, anytime. School Era is a solution which is not a new solution. It has been into market. It is a tried and tested and proven solution, not tested just by the various schools, students, and teachers, but by also some of the various government bodies. For example, in Meghalaya, there was a tender after a lot of evaluation of which we won it, and we provided the digital content in tablet to 196,000 students in the state of Meghalaya. This took us about a year's time, but now imagine the solution that I'm talking about today over here is not a new solution. It's already been used by over 2 lakh students in just one of the states. Number two, the tender, again, which we have gotten approval for the School Era solution is by CBSE, the Central Board of Secondary Education. CBSE came out with a tender about a year back where they invited bids for creating of a solution as per their own customized needs. We had a solution ready, we adapted something, we added some features as per CBSE requirement, and we came out with a solution. Now CBSE has asked us to go with this solution to all the 14,000 schools in the country and 180 ICBSE schools across the world, and provide a CCE enhanced, CCE empaneled solution to take workload off teachers and to make sure that CCE, which as a solution has opened some challenges today, to take those challenges away and make the use of CCE in the right manner so the right learning can be taken place and the benefits of the CCE framework can also be utilized. For example, the grade books are automatically created so that administrative work is taking off teachers. Number two, the gradebook submission to CBSE happens automatically, so we don't have to really worry about a lot of administrative work which our teachers are pounded with, and for the same reason, they are not able to focus on their main job, which is teaching. The same solution has been also accepted, approved, and is being used by some of the international countries. Just one odd example of the same being the Mauritius, where Mauritius government wanted the same solution to be used for all the government schools in Mauritius, and we have already deployed, provided this. This is not something I'm saying we are going to provide, students will be using. I'm saying they have used it, they have accepted it in a successful manner. Internationally, in India, in every manner. So this is the letter of award from CBSE that we got. I believe sometimes showing certifications are important. Some of the articles and coverages that 11 million students across 14,000 schools in India need to be catered under this solution just based on the directive of CBSE. So coming to School Era, what it really is. School Era, as I said, is a comprehensive learning management system for schools, which has been approved by various boards and bodies, including CBSE, and some customizations as per them has been done so that it appeals more to their schools. We understand that for any solution, for a next generation of digital technology solution, all the stakeholders in the education are important. What are the 5 stakeholders in education or in the whole domain of education? Can somebody just loudly call it out, the 5 stakeholders, as I call it? Students, teachers, managements, parents, and the last, boards, the board that you're affiliated to. I believe these are the 5 stakeholders. Okay, so I have to rush. These are the 5 stakeholders that we have to make sure are intermingled, or what we are trying to do is we are trying to join all the entities of the education segment through a common platform for the best learning to happen in a holistic manner. So the advantages for the 3 main stakeholders, which are always there for school, teacher, and students are, I'll just run through some of the slides because the discussion took more time, but I'm happy about that. I wanted to make it a bit interactive. The school, in a case of CBSE, gets a CBSE CC compliant solution, direct gradebook submission and creation to the schools. the school administrators, principals can monitor the progress and performance of not only students, but the teachers also at a level, so that they can provide guidelines and remediation to the teachers along with the students. They can have the record for last 10 years for a student in a graphical and in a tabular form, so that they can tomorrow talk about why this student has been weak in mathematics from grade 8 or only 9th he felt weak. In geometry he has been weak, or across the mathematics, arithmetic he has been weak. So, okay, I really have to run through this, guys. So coming back to the product. So 2 plus 2 is equal to, we say 5. Now I'm going to stand here and say 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. You would say the guy knows nothing. Or I would say that I have said this after a lot of trust in the system and after a lot of research on my own to be able to say such a big thing. What I'm trying to say is, with this solution, we save 25% of the time of every teacher. So predominantly for every 4 teachers, we are able to create a 5th teacher. So that is why I said 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. That was slightly more of a marketing term, but coming back to the product, I'm a guy from the product side who talks about solutions, product, and usage. How School Era helps teachers, students, and students is illustrated here. How this 25% time is saved is illustrated here. How it benefits students is illustrated here, and how it benefits schools is something I'm going to focus upon. It reduces the workload of teachers so that teachers have more time in doing their core job, which is teaching. It is a direct gradebook submission to CBSE or the particular boards. It is a CC compliant solution so that you don't really have to worry about what CC is. If teachers don't understand CC, it will help them understand CC, provide the entire scholastic and co-scholastic learning components, including life skills, in the solution as part of the content. Automatic gradebook creation. So I think these are some of the unique features which will touch upon the factors you mentioned. 24/7 doubt clearance. What we provide in this is 24/7 teacher on call, drop a question, and virtual classroom. In drop a question, anybody who enters the question gets answers in 3 hours flat. Anybody who wants to talk to a teacher, especially, students of grade 9 and onwards when they're preparing for, okay, 2 minutes, please. So, yeah. So they can get access to teachers on the call anytime, and virtual classroom, some of the best teachers across the country are connected in a 2-way synchronous manner for online live learning with the teachers. There's a classroom management software by virtue of which a student teacher can take control of all the tablets if they deploy a tablet-based solution in the class. So a teacher can actually take a controlled learning, I think somebody mentioned here, controlled learning, so that they can know at least in class, in school, what the student is doing, and they are not using technology in any wrong manner. These are the 3 basic ways in which the product is delivered. Online, everybody gets a user ID and password, including the student, teacher, parent, and the principal, director, and the admin, so that they can look at, monitor the entire solution in a holistic manner and can cater to the student's learning needs. A parent also needs to be involved in a holistic and a comprehensive learning of the child. Second is the offline learning, where the content is on a pen drive so that internet is not required. Third is a tablet-based solution, where the content, technology, everything resides on a tablet. It is on the go, anytime, anywhere. The students can carry it in hand, walk across. These days, a lot of students in some parts of India waste a lot of time in transportation, sometimes 1 hour, 2 hours. Those time can also be effectively be used by these solutions. So I have come to the last slide because I have been asked rigorously. So she's wouldn't comment upon that. So thank you all. It has been a very enriching and learning experience talking and discussing some of the roles of technology, talking about how technology touches all of us and our lives, and seeing that our thoughts and our viewpoints are aligned irrespective of the fact from which part of the country we are here from, or in which domain does our schools lie from a standpoint of students' paying capacity or their language or their age group. Thank you so much.